I said it.
I spoke
Yeah,
to a Reform rabbi, and also they all completely disagreed.
but who? Okay. But did you quote the Rambam that I quoted?
I told him about the Rambam. I don't remember exact words,
Okay.
but I told him what about the Rambam, and they said
Also,
the Rambam was talking about different contexts.
right. But of course, they didn't read it to you or explain you what he was actually talking
They
about.
agreed to parts. They agreed to parts, meaning
Okay,
that
so
we do have Bechira. 100% we have Bechira.
well, you can't have Bechira that 100% and God control everything.
No, that's the problem. That's where the Judaism. That's where
that's
you have
why the
Kabbalah.
Rambam
That's where you have
steps in.
Chazal
You've
to
never
teach you how it doesn't contradict.
you never read a book about Bechira? Or a
No,
sefer
he believes
about
in Bechira.
Bechira?
Rivka, he believes in Bechira. He doesn't
That's
believe
my
in
whole
Hashem
thing. I
controlling
mean,
the
for
world.
those who don't know what
Yeah,
we're
but it
talking about, like, Bechira is free will.
explains both together.
And he doesn't.
It makes no sense.
Believe it goes together.
Okay, guys, like, we're talking about free will, right? I mean, for those who don't know, right? So Bechira is free will. What the idea that God controls everything in the world, but you could still claim to have free will, is nonsensical. The Rambam.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I mean, the Rambam in Pirkei Avot, in his like Parsha Mishnayot, he says there in that portion that everything's in the heaven, the fear of heaven. He says that God doesn't know if you're going to do tshuva or not. What he controls is what he calls the kohota teva, which means the forces of nature. That he knows, but it would violate our free will if God knows you're going to repent or not, and at the same time has the audacity to punish you for it. That's his argument. Gershom ben Levi says the same thing. Okay, this is not my. It's just, I mean, some rabbis don't think. Okay, and there's many rabbis who disagree on bigger issues. But why am I the Christian? I mean, just because I want my religion to make sense. Okay, and as someone who tries to convince people to become Jewish, my theology has to be a little more logical than a group that doesn't care how they sound to other people.